Hello, good day, everybody. Adilola Shokoya here. So good to be here again. See another beautiful week. I don't know where you're hearing me from or watching this video from. I just want to say good day. I hope you had a beautiful trading week, this past week. So going forward this week, in our usual manner, we'll be looking at DXY, the dollar index. Last week, this week that just ended, we finally saw the dollar, pulling back, at a very at this at the 97 area, the $97 area. I was actually expecting that pullback around this area, around that 99. But on Monday, this candle here broke through, and then we had this pullback on Tuesday. I mean, the dollar is looking like we might be preparing to push back to the upside. I'll be looking forward to see something that looks like this week. We'll see a little, move, before we have this, final breakout to the upside. This can take a little couple of weeks actually, and the policies that are surrounding this movement this past week, we noticed that the president of the United States seems to mellow down on the tariff from China, and I think the market, saw that as a positive move for the dollar. If we proceed to the weekly time frame, you can see that we have seen a pullback around the structural liquidity area for the dollar around 99, around the 99.4, 99.6 area. So we saw this major pullback. I mean, this is like an armor that's indicating that we might be pushing back to the upside. All right, but like I mentioned, we're going to see some little choppy moving around there to test this support before we have that final breaker. If this support holds, that's if this support holds, we might see that move to the upside in this manner. We'll see something that looks like this, and then before we break out. However, if this support doesn't hold, you know, depending on um, depending on what is going to happen this coming week, and as we also enter the new month, um, Friday. I'm not sure if it is this Friday or next week Friday. We should be having NFP. Those are major data that has been released by the United States. All right, so moving forward, let's check what gold is doing. I think I have my gold chart pull up over here. All right, that's loading. Let me quickly see if I can check what gold is doing. I do XAU, USD. All right, so let's quickly see what gold is doing. Gold has been pulling back, because of course the dollar is, pushing it to the upside. So of course I expect gold to be actually be pulling back. On the daily time frame, as you can see, we had this pullback. Immediately we had that news. This on the weekly time frame, we see that we have a major pullback. Like I always say on this channel, I don't always like trying to time gold pullback because gold is a very sensitive commodity, and then it's one of the oldest commodity out there, one of the commodity that a lot of investors like to run to when you have a lot of uncertainties, like we have experienced in the past couple of weeks since January, since the inauguration of the new president of the United States. We have a lot of uncertainties in the market. So a lot of traders and investors are piling up, their good positions. They are moving away from the dollar and jumping on gold, and that's why we've seen that gold the last couple of weeks has kept, breaking, all-time high after all-time high. At first we broke out from 3,100, then we did another breakout around 3,002, then we broke out 3,003, then till we had a little pullback from 3,500. Okay. Because of that good news that I mentioned in the morning, that the market perceive as good news, based on the fact that the president of the United States seems to have reduced the tariff, I think from 245% to 50%. The one is slammed on China, and it seems to also be reducing its threat, so to speak. So a lot of people started jumping back on the dollar, and that's why we see that the dollar has kept pushing forward. If I go back to DXY, So that's why we had this pullback, on the dollar index. All right. So having said that, let's check Bitcoin, another beautiful asset that a lot of people also have been piling up. I last week, if you watch my video last week, I said I'm holding a position around this area after I saw this pullback, this first candle. Then I saw price came back here to test it. Then this third candle also came to test this support, so I jump on a buy. Telling me that this is actually a strong support, and I'm still holding that position. If you go back to the 4 hour time frame, you see that since we came to this zone, we have been pushing, to the upside for Bitcoin. If I go back to the daily time frame, what we had here initially was head and shoulder. We had an head and shoulder on our neckline. There's a neckline, and the price broke through. Now and then we form support around it. If you go to the weekly time frame as well, you see that we have a strong. The buyers have, seems to have, taken in their position. And if you look at the data out there, you see that a lot of institutions are back buying Bitcoin because of a lot of, like I mentioned at the initial stage, about uncertainties going on around in the world right now. So investors and traders are jumping on risk, have on commodity that they can put their money in instead of holding the dollars. All right, so far so good. The crypto market seems to be pushing back. We see that Bitcoin is pushing to the upside. I'm expecting price to come and test this place. We might have a test of this a price around 107. If price doesn't break through, we are likely to actually come and form a structural liquidity around this area. If price doesn't break through to the upside, if you see another sell-off, what we are likely to see is to see price form a structural liquidity around this zone, and then we continue, to test this low, and then we have that keep having lower high, all right, to the downside. That's if you see sell off around this zone. However, if we see price, if this move continue, we will likely to see something that looks like this, and then we'll break out, and then we'll come test this zone before we continue to the upside. So those are the two scenarios. However, for now, I'm still holding my position and watching what price will do around this zone. Probably I'll be taking out some profit when price gets to this zone. All right. I'll be taking out some profit. I'll be locking the rest to see what price will do. All right. So let's go check what I want us to quickly check. Um, um, I want us to quickly check currencies. Let's look at Euro USD. I'm actually banking. I'm putting my my mouth on Euro USD. If you are in any of my free group, either my Telegram group or my WhatsApp group, you will notice that I'm already in a position on Euro USD. I'm holding a sell position on Euro USD. Although it's a small it's a small position to just see what price we do around there. All right. Since the dollar seems to be bouncing off, I feel we might also have a pullback in currencies like Euro USD, which are major dollar pairs. As you can see, we already have that pullback. Price broke through from here, and then we had this pullback already on this weekly time frame. So I expect this week I'll be watching what price will do around this zone. All right, to see if you are going to see a rejection. I expect price to pull back to this zone, all right, and see what will happen if you are going to see a rejection. If I notice that rejection is building on the 4 hour time frame, I'll be adding to my positions on Euro USD. I'm already holding a sell position on Euro USD. All right. However, a price breakout from here, what I'm going to do is, by the time the market opens later today, I'm going to put I'm going to lock my position, all right, to break even. So see that price coming and knock me out, and I'll be sitting on my hands to watch what price will do. If I see, because most likely what you will see that we have a stop loss on. We call it stop loss on, where you see our price brokers. We always believe that where you see the price will take out stop losses, people stop losses, and then continue the downs the move to the downside. All right. So that's why if you're holding a position, especially if you're in trade like me, whatever price do, you just want to follow price. Even though if it knocks you out, you still watch to see what it will do eventually. Yeah, because I've seen a lot of stop loss odds in this industry, a lot. So price likely to knock you out and then continue to downside. All right, so I'll be watching what this will do. But right now, like I mentioned, I'm already holding a sell position. As you can see, we are building that resistance around the 1.155 zone. All right, so let's check pounds USD as well. Pounds USD is also building that's looking like is a resistance around the 1.341. I'm not in this position yet, but I'm watching it closely. So those are the two currencies that I'm watching very, very closely. Pounds USD and Euro USD. Go to the weekly time frame as well. We see this pullback. This doesn't look like a very strong reversal if you compare it to the Euro USD. Let's go check Euro USD on the weekly time frame. You will notice that what we have with the Euro USD at this zone is what is known as an inverted hammer for this candle. So compared to pounds USD, seems to still be it doesn't look like a very strong reversal. So I'm still watching it to see what it will do this week. All right. But of course, as I'm watching it, I'm not willing to jump on a buy. All right, because I know that the dollar is bouncing back. All right, so I'll just want to watch. I'll be sitting on my hands on pounds USD to see what it will do this week. If we are going to have a continuation of this trend to the upside, or we have a pullback. All right, so that's my position on pounds USD. Lastly, I want us to check USD JPY. Also, because the dollar has been maintaining a very strong pullback, we can also see that the USD JPY also seems to have formed a bottom around this major support around 139.55. Okay, and see that price seems to have bounced off. All right, if you look at the weekly time frame as well, notice that we have a major uh, um, candlestick known as AMA as well, where we price bounces up. So going forward this week, I expect the sellers to come and test the support to play around the support. We can have something that looks like this. Price keep falling from a small higher low. All right, to keep testing this resistance. If this resistance doesn't hold, we might have price do this and break out. All right. Or however, we can have price test this resistance and bounce off to go further down to the downside. But if I'm not taking any position on USD but then I won't be jumping on a buy. I won't be jumping on a sell. Pardon me. Even if price break this low, I'd rather wait to see what will happen. I will be looking forward to see a strong buy move. Even if price break this low and push to the downside, I'd rather wait to see how price will react around this zone. All right. But so far so good. On this around this zone, we already see that prices, forming something that is looking like a reversal. Okay. But this week, I expect to see some confirmation before I start taking position on USD JPY. If you have not, joined my free Telegram group, I'll be dropping the link in the description below. Ensure you join us. Also, if you are not subscribed to my channel, make sure you do so. Lastly, I quickly want us to check pounds JPY. Earlier I was talking about that we normally have stop loss ons, and I quickly want to show you something that I mean by that. This is on the daily time frame. This was I'm one of my account. I'm actually in a buy position, and I'm still holding that position from here. I think I joined this position from here. I'm well over about 600 or 650 pips holding this pounds JPY. What you notice is that at first, if you see what price did around this zone, we had this pullback. Okay, I want this to be very clear. So we first of all had this bounce off from this support. All right, and then we had this. I think this was on Wednesday on the 9th. So we already had, and then after this major pullback, this one we have this first candle. Then we had this pull major another sell off from here. So we had this sell off that knock out everybody. I was in a group where people are complaining that this thing just see their stop loss and push back. So this is an example of a price stop loss on where price knock out everybody, because the deal maker and the market maker already in most time they see that a lot of people would have placed their stop loss below this area, so they'll come for that stop loss. All right, they'll knock out everybody and place a buy order around there, and then the price continue to the upside. All right. That's why as a trader, you don't want to be too emotionally attached to your positions, even if your position knockout, even if price knock out your stop loss, you want to wait and see. What I found out is that, and I used to do that also back in the days, that when I'm knocked out of my position, especially around a higher time frame area that I feel price should, if I'm seeing price building up reversals, all right. Um, as soon as price knock me out, I'll just say, okay, that is it, and then I'll close the chart. Only for me, maybe I'll check back after some couple of days, and I'll say that price has bounced off. So, but you don't want to do that. Even if price not clear, you want to still wait and watch. What price will still do around that supposedly major reversal point. If you go to the 4 hour time frame, you notice that after price knock out everybody. Um, I'm trying to look for my two. Give me 1 minute. I'm rounding up already. After price knock out everybody around this area, okay. Then then what we have right now is, now we now have this big uh big gigantic candle known as the bullish engulfing candle. And then you will notice that price has been forming higher low since then. So if you are taking your loss and you are not patient, if price knock you out and you walk out, that's why position sizing is very important. You don't want to over leverage your account, so that when price hits your stop loss, you still have money in your account to still take another position. Very, very important. All right. So thank you for your time. I'll be dropping our free telegram group in the description below. Ensure you join us. All right, and I'll be seeing you in the next video. Have a beautiful trading week. Thank you.